Hi everybody, this video is going to be about how to approach week 2 of PHI 103. So last week we studied critical thinking, broadly construed, stereotypical thinking, and ways to break out of that. And now we're going to move into the realm of logic and formal logic itself. And so we'll begin to start studying arguments, the parts of arguments, propositions, premises, and conclusions in this week, and we'll start to map these arguments and begin the process of learning how to identify the different parts of those arguments. You'll see that again, this week can look quite intimidating, but you shouldn't worry. You should just work methodically through the material, and I'm going to give you just a little advice on how to approach this week. You'll notice that there's only one discussion again this week, so be sure to get into that discussion early and respond on 4 separate days and with a minimum of 600 words total. So not 600 words each post, but 600 words total on 4 separate days. So that's what you should do in relation to the discussion. Now it's probably best to do some of the quizzes and do some of the reading before you enter into the discussion. So you might consider spending 2 days reading and doing other stuff. So spend Tuesday and Wednesday doing those things, and then Thursday you get into the discussion. Maybe do Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or you might just pop in early, get one done, and then do your more substantial posts later in the week. Again, it's up to you. And you don't need to think in terms of just posting 4 times either. You could post 8 times. It just needs to happen on 4 separate days. If you're a military student who does not have access to the internet due to your circumstances, feel free to contact your instructor, and you can work with your instructor to figure out a way to complete the assignments without losing points for not posting on 4 days. So this week, again, you're going to have a readings quiz, a media quiz, and a library quiz. I would recommend going in and doing the media quiz and the library quiz as quickly as possible. Those are going to be pretty simple. The media quiz, you just watch the media elements and then answer the questions. And then the library quiz is based on tutorials in the library, and the tutorials aren't very long, and you can just watch those tutorials and then answer the quiz once you've completed the tutorials and once you've watched those things. Those are 2 things that you can knock out fairly quickly and fairly easily, and that will also help you in the long run. So complete the media quiz and the library quiz early. The readings quiz, and then you'll also have a readings quiz, a propositions quiz, and an arguments quiz. So I would save the readings quiz till the end probably, as that's probably going to take the most work. In relation to the propositions and arguments quiz, do the propositions quiz first, definitely. And remember that when you first click on the item, the weekly item on the left navigation banner, so if you click on week 2, it'll open up a screen, and at the top you'll see resources and practice in little links in the purple bar. If you click on practice, it'll take you to practice tutorials that not only explain answers to the problems, but you'll be able to just practice propositions versus non-propositions, and you'll also be able to practice finding premises and conclusions in arguments. And then you'll get immediate feedback in those tutorials, and it'll tell you whether or not you got the answers correct or incorrect. And then after, I think, 3 times, if you missed the same problem 3 times in a row, then you'll get the correct answer. So go through those practice tutorials. Also, in the lecture videos for the week, you'll find lectures on both propositions as well as arguments in terms of premises and conclusions. And so the arguments quiz, in the propositions quiz, you're going to be identifying propositions from non-propositions, and that's pretty easy. Usually people do pretty well. Remember that non-propositions are questions, commands, and exclamations. And then the arguments quiz is going to be an argument, and then you're going to have to identify premises or conclusions. So there'll be a presentation of an argument, and then it'll say something like, the following statement from the argument is a premise or a conclusion, true or false, or it'll be a multiple choice question where you'll have to understand which are the premises and which are the conclusions. And if you work methodically from propositions to arguments, then it'll be easier for you because you'll be moving up the chain, the building blocks. So start out, knock out the media quiz, knock out the library quiz, then move on to propositions. Remember that there are lecture videos that explain both those things, and also the textbook, the portions of the textbook you'll be reading explain these things as well. So get into the textbook and start reading there as well. Move from the propositions quiz to the arguments quiz, and then the media quiz. Remember the discussion as well. Now, for the written assignments this week, there will be two written assignments. One is the apology assignment, and the other is the argument outline assignment. In the apology assignment, you are asked to read Plato's Apology and then answer some questions and outline the arguments, basically. So, in week 1, you read Plato's Allegory of the Cave, and we're going to continue with Plato here because it is a philosophy class and because there are pretty clear arguments that are presented in these documents. Again, you might want to check out my How to Read Philosophy video. It'll help you in thinking about how to read these things. Remember, you have to read these things slowly and read them multiple times. So this week, an apology is a defense. It doesn't mean saying that you're sorry. And so remember, Socrates was outside the court when he talked to Euthyphro. If you've taken, well, anyway, there's a dialogue called the Euthyphro. He's outside the court talking to Euthyphro about the holy. Now he's inside the court and he's presenting his defense. And you'll find that as you begin reading this, and I'm going to make a longer video about this, but that explains it. But anyway, he's in there presenting a defense. He's been accused of corrupting the youth and of believing in false gods and these things. And so in this assignment, you are going to be asked to identify the sets of charges that were brought against Socrates. And again, the apology, I think, is about 12 pages long. And so make sure you read the whole thing, read multiple times, and then make notes of these things as you're going through. So identify both sets of charges that were brought against Socrates, explain how Socrates responds to both sets of charges, and identify the premises he uses to support his claims of innocence. And then explain what Socrates claims is his role in Athenian society and how he knows that this is his role that he's claiming. And then present your own view of Socrates' guilt or innocence. And then support your claims with premises and reasons. In the second written assignment, you're asked to view one of the following videos: Peter Singer's Ethics, Slavoj Žižek, Martin Luther King on Meet the Press, or Alan Keyes versus Barack Obama. And then you will, and only choose one of those, and then what you're going to do is identify the issue that's addressed and the conclusion that's presented by someone in the video, and then identify the premises that are given in support of that conclusion, and explain whether or not you think the argument is convincing by presenting your own reasons and explanations for the position. I know that it looks overwhelming this week, but those two papers are each a little over a page. So again, just methodically work through those things. I think that you'll find that you'll easily meet the minimum requirement and word count as you're attempting to do all these things. So be very concise and direct, and don't waste a lot of time on writing things that are not relevant to answering those portions of each question. So I hope that that helps with a little bit of an overview of week 2. And again, I'm going to make some more videos where I elaborate more on how to successfully complete these. Good luck. Remember to methodically work through the material and just keep trudging along, and you'll make it to the end.